And welcome back to BLOCKTV, time for Links in the Chain, where we interview major players in the blockchain and cryptocurrency community and hear about their role in the ecosystem, what is new, what they're working on, the place to be, so to speak. Today, we're very happy to be joined from South Africa by Nick Hill. He's the investment analyst at Invictus Capital. And Nick, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Invictus' latest offering is their crypto asset investment course. That sounds like, you know, an educational segment, but it is, right? What does the course offer?
Correct. Yeah. Thank you so much for firstly, having me on your show. So Invictus Capital, first and foremost, is actually a crypto asset manager. So education is not really one of our core competencies, but the reason why we have gone down the education route is that cryptocurrency is actually quite a social form of finance. So we raised two funds from a community of over 20,000 investors. And we often engage with them on social channels and get questions about blockchain investing, which projects are more desirable than others. And based on this demand, we saw that there was a need in the market to really educate our community and the broader crypto community with a framework with which to approach investing in the space. So it really came from interactions with our community that we saw that there was a need to educate people, but specifically from the investment perspective.
About that need, you know, which is a very valid point. I'm going to touch on it in a second, but I want to ask you first. Let's break this course down. How long is this course?
So we've done a short introductory course, which is really just giving investors a kind of framework or a structure with which to approach the market. So it takes you from a short history of the overall crypto market. And then takes you through the different crypto asset classes from your currency tokens, utility tokens, security tokens, and then gives you a project to evaluate by yourself. But the course itself is around 5 close to 6 hours. That's if you obviously complete all the lectures and do all the questions. But it's really to serve as an introduction to more broader topics, which we'll be introducing at a later stage.
Kind of a one-on-one for currencies, one can say, right?
Beg pardon?
Kind of a one-on-one for the technology and the currencies. Crypto's 101, for example?
That's 100% correct. So it's a very early introduction just to get you started with how to approach the market.
And let me ask you this: everybody's talking about the need for mass adoption, the need for mainstreaming, both the cryptos and not just cryptos, but also the technology. If somebody needs to learn it still, are we far away from mainstreaming? You know what I mean? Because we're at the point where people need to be educated, right?
Yeah, well, I think that's you've hit the nail on the head. I think that's one of the largest challenges with people wanting to join the crypto space. There are terms that are specific to the community. They're unusual investments. What's actually quite interesting is many of the crypto assets are kind of hybrid models where traditional investment analysts would be confronted with real estate, equities, bonds, whereas crypto assets often have blended economic models which make them hard to value. So education is really crucial to help with people to understand the different models and how to evaluate these different tokens. Otherwise, it'll remain unattractive as a investment asset class, just simply because it'll be something that people will continue to not understand properly. So
education is key. I agree. Or it will remain a niche. Exactly, it will remain niche. How's it going? You know, who's signing on?
So we found we initially promoted it to our community. That's where the primary demand came from. But we run it through a platform called Udemy, which is a kind of aggregator for short courses globally. So we have had some signups from the wider Udemy community. But we're really treating this as an introduction to see where the demand is for short courses in the crypto space. And what we found, there's been really good feedback from those who've taken the course, and what they're actually looking for is specific courses on specific crypto assets. So, for example, a short course on Bitcoin Cash, for instance, because as I mentioned earlier, I mean, each token itself or each crypto asset has quite unique investment characteristics. So you almost need short courses on each of them to fully understand the token dynamics.
Yeah, entirely so. Fascinating in that respect. And really quickly, I mean, when you say it's a 6-hour hour online course, are there instructors? Is it all video, visualized? As an educator myself, I'm asking.
Yeah, so it's a combination. So it's video lectures, it's interviews, it's articles that we've written. We've included quizzes to make sure that our students have a thorough understanding of the content. But it's really a blended model of education. We've also opened up our community channels for any questions that the students might have. So it's not quite one-on-one lectures, which you might get at a local university, but it's leveraging the technology that exists currently in the education space to really scale this education.
Nick, I have been educated myself. I cannot thank you enough for joining us today from the far end of the world, from South Africa. Thank you so much. And of course, for all of you, don't forget to check us online, BLOCKTV, Facebook, Twitter, all those social networks. Please check us online, write comments. We'll answer. We'll be right back.